This week, I talked to Clockwork Janz, the creator of Frankensteam, a glorious hot dog cart that Clockwork plays music in while slinging hot dogs simultaneously. Clockwork embodies what I love about doing this podcast because all I knew going in was some basic information about someone who combines food and music, but was treated to a lovely conversation, a breakfast burrito, and espresso with someone filled with joy in their backyard. You can see Frankensteam in action on June 30th from 5 to 7 at the Eagle Creek Park Beach. Keep in mind that's tomorrow from the day of release. And this is a rare occasion, so make sure you get out there. I will probably try to be there myself. Before the show, I want to thank everyone who helps support the show. And if you're interested in helping me sustain the podcast, you can go to support.thirdspaceindy.com. Or you can do something as simple as clicking subscribe, liking the video, or leaving a review on your preferred podcast platform. Every little thing helps. Now, on to the show. I hope you enjoy.
Now.
Okay.
I like now.
Okay. I like now.
I like
awesome.
I like now. I'm always I don't know. I don't look back on parts of my life with, college is nostalgia. Nah, now is the best. Because now is what we have, and it's now.
Oh.
And there's so much good stuff. And if you don't like now, then can change something.
Scared rabbit, they've got you boxed in. Old habit, you draw the curtain. Lonely only if they ever leave.
Hello, my name is Michael Zarek, and this is Third Space Indy. In 1989, a man named Ray Oldenburg wrote a book called The Great Good Place. And in this book, he coined the term the third place. This describes a place that is outside of your home and outside of your work, that you can go, be with others, build community, and just be yourself. So I've made it my goal to find people all over Indianapolis who are doing their very best to make those types of spaces. Today, I was handed a beautiful breakfast burrito, which was mighty delicious. And I'm talking with somebody who was described to me as somebody who makes music with food, and that's as best as I've got so far. Mm-hmm. And I'm so excited to talk to them. My guest today is Clockwork Janz. How you doing?
Yeah, hi, I'm good. How about you, Michael?
I'm doing really well. I love your voice. It hits every time.
Oh, thanks a lot.
For anyone who may not know who you are, go ahead and give us a little spiel about who you are, what you're about, and what you do.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Clockwork Janz. I use he or they pronouns. And I make music, and I make food, and I make food with music, and I make music with food. I do a lot of people organizing work. I was actually writing this down the other day. I call myself Clockwork. I found this name and renamed myself when I decided I wanted a name that did not denote a particular gender and that people would remember because it said something about me. So I promise what I deliver. I am timely. I am well organized, and I set up systems for people to operate functionally. A lot of what I do as a composer, and then I take that into social people settings as well. So that's, yeah.
First of all, you answered my first question immediately, which was where did your name come
Yeah.
from? Which I love. I love that because it's such a unique name. So you were introduced to me as somebody who makes music with food, and I've only seen a couple videos of this.
Yeah.
But to my left is a garage, and in that garage there is a big red behemoth of I'm gonna call it a cart.
It is.
And on the side of the cart it says Frankensteamer.
Frankensteam.
Can you tell me what Frankensteam is in your own words?
Sure. Frankensteam is a solar-powered musical hot dog cart. It is a mobile venue and a licensed food distribution machine situation. This isn't even my cat.
we're getting attacked by cats.
The neighbors also have 4 cats. We have 8 cats among these 2 houses and 2 toddlers. It's wonderful. Frankensteam was an idea that came about, 20 the end of 2023, fall 2023, I was milling around the Simon Foundation's Creative Risk Grant, and I was thinking, oh, people are going to send in things like, I'm an acrylic painter, and it's a big risk to do oil painting. And that is the scope of risk for some folks. And I thought, well, you have to like light yourself on fire to really be risky. And from there, I hobbled back that, well, I've cut off lots of skin doing food work and lots of burns. So like food work does equate to risky. And that matched with an idea that I've been milling around since the 10th grade, which is that heat and sound are both byproducts of mechanical inefficiency. And that is incredible. That is incredible.
That's
that
fire.
so much beauty and art are created from from mistakes, from imperfection.
Yeah.
And so Frank, we just call him Frank. Frank uses he, him pronouns. Frank was born out of this idea. And the thing that best catches that, another thing that catches this heat and musical inefficiency, sound inefficiency, is the calliope, which is an old steam wagon that would be on boats. Sorry, from a steam engine, they had calliopes on board steamboats and engines, steam trains. And what this would do, because all this extra steam would just fly out into nothingness, they put an organ between.
That's what the Belle of Louisville uses, right?
That makes sense.
Okay.
Is that the boat?
I think the
Yeah,
Belle of Louisville
yeah.
is like the steamboat. It's got a paddle.
That's right.
And
if it's Billy's music,
yeah.
that's a calliope.
Wow.
So it shoots steam through pipes, and some of them are automated, kind of like a player piano situation with a roll. But shooting steam through different color, different lengths of pipes creates different pitches. There's a lot of them that have keyboards and organs. And so taking this idea, I was like, and I'd already been performing on stage at that point for 2 years, making music with food. So while I cook, I clang things and loop it, and then make percussion tracks with slicing and dicing and mixing and tossing and lids here and there. And I've bought bowls and pans depending on how they sounded for years. And so this all just kind of came together with a stage act. And so then this idea of putting this into a mobile go wherever situation. And we tried the calliope with it actually being steam powered. Like imagine hooking a hose up to
I am picturing it. It sounds wild.
above to capture the heat and the steam. But we did a lot of research. Rob Funkhauser, a
What a
dear
great name,
friend.
by the way.
He's wonderful. You should hit him up too. Brilliant musician. His music brings tears to my eyes. Brilliant composer, musician. And I hit him up because we'd been collaborating on Sound Suppers before that, which is a whole different thing that mixes food and music, to write a proposal for this grant to make a calliope that is also a hot dog cart. The calliope as a steam thing ended up being very dangerous. We would have burnt the shit out of ourselves at this point. We would have just scalded ourselves. And we talked to
Is that a
steam
space
experts.
issue?
No, it's the fact that steam is such a high pressure, like to have think of a pressure cooker that hooks up to some kind of organ thing.
Yeah.
To get that, to keep that in a safe maintenance situation would have taken a lot of time. Imagine just like tightening every single bolt and lubing everything and making sure everything worked every single time. Even so, the steam that come out of that would have been so hot. The pipes would have been so hot. We were very likely to have just maimed ourselves.
Yeah.
With
I
this,
love that for you.
So we decided to go with solar power instead, which is in the same vein of we're capturing something that is otherwise being unutilized,
And heat.
and we're still exactly right. So yeah, so Frank, as it stands right now, is a mobile music and food machine. We serve hot dogs. There's a pots and pans rack above my head connected to it's a MIDI controller that's connected to a Mac Mini on board. The condiment station out front is also a MIDI controller. So it's all powered through more modern technology, but solar powered. So with the same idea that we're capturing otherwise unused energy.
And then there's also the condiment station,
Yeah.
which plays in also. Like, how does that
Yeah.
work?
So the condiment station out front is a MIDI controller.
Uh-huh.
Meaning we can hook up whatever sounds we want. If you grab a ketchup packet out of the ketchup packet container, it'll sing back to you whatever songs we program in to the Mac Mini, the computer. It's yeah.
So I mentioned at the very beginning that you made me a very delicious breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
And you also made me espresso, which is both so kind and I think maybe the most generous guest I've had so far. How did you get interested in food? Because you said you've been cooking for a long time. You used to work for people who, you said underserved youth or people in the sort of
I worked for
court system?
That's right. I worked for a nonprofit that it's called Aftercare for Indian Through Mentoring. It's defunct now. But we worked with young folks that were on probation, often folks that were returning to society, to their communities from the Juvenile Department of Corrections. So they had been in Pendleton Juvenile, Logansport Juvenile, Camp Summit Juvenile for 6 months to 3 years as a kid, which is really messed up. And so we built relationships while they were in there. And then when they got out, we had a restaurant for them to come and learn how to cook.
Yeah. Was that the start of your food journey, or was that sort of the...
Yeah, professionally. But I started that job as a work study kid in college. So like I just did that youth mentoring stuff. So professionally, that was the first, and I co-taught with that nonprofit and sort of apprenticed under a chef at Ivy Tech for a little while, where again, pulled those kids in and got them a couple credits in culinary at Ivy Tech. Started cooking growing up. My grandma taught me how to cook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne?
Grew up in Fort Wayne.
Gross. Just kidding.
It's fine.
I call it the ancestral home.
Oh, why do you call it the ancestral home?
My father's side grandmother, that's like her family's place of rest, I guess is the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shout out the Bonahooms. Yeah, it's the Lebanese family. So it's like I'm like
cool.
third generation.
Right
so
on.
yeah, Fort Wayne. Shout out.
Yeah, it's okay. It's no, like I came to Butler after on an oboe-playing scholarship. Came to Butler after high school. I haven't stayed in Fort Wayne for more than a week since then.
Yeah.
And I've come to, it was a place I grew up. It was fine. It was kind of boring. It's a lot of suburbs. But then, I don't know, they've done a lot. Going back as an arts administrator and an artist, like seeing that they've done a lot within creative economy work, within placekeeping, because not a lot has closed down since I was a kid.
That's impressive.
Which is impressive.
You can't say the same thing here. I don't think.
No, that's what I'm saying. And seeing that contrast, that actually Fort Wayne's doing an all right job. It's a small size city.
Yeah, they've been growing a little bit too.
They've been growing. Yeah. A lot of their artwork, their public artwork downtown is very accessible. Thinking about like even Braille for signage on how to, it's like a touchable mural public art, like with that intention. It's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
So what types
We're
of things
track, though.
were you? No, there is no off track. I don't know that I lathe tracks at all.
Right on.
What types of things were you cooking with your grandma? Do you have any good memories?
I remember cooking eggs and tomatoes most every morning.
Oh, wow.
Eggs, and she loved sliced tomatoes and eggs, and she would always make a point of making sure we had a good protein-filled breakfast that stuck to our ribs.
Make sure you eat your sausage gravy.
No joke. Yeah, no. Yeah, so we wouldn't get... Grandma raised 10 kids out in the country, Leo, around Fort Wayne.
Okay.
So like on the outskirts in the country. And it's funny seeing, sort of the narrative of a lot of grandparents is like spoiling a kid and giving him candy. And that's just, I was thinking about the other day, that is not what my grandma did. I got bananas as a snack. I got, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I like a banana.
On the other side of that, my grandpa is still around. He's 97
Right on.
and eats a bowl of ice cream every single night.
Hey, that's
forever.
why he's 97.
Right, I think it is.
That's how
I think
feel.
it is. I think it is. I think it is. We fried a lot of chicken growing up. That was every
Oh,
Christmas.
legit.
Yeah. Me and Grandma.
Well, I have a question. So you
yeah.
said you grew up in the rural town. Was she slaughtering the chicken? Or
She
is
grew up doing that.
That's-
But she did not.
I
by
had a
the
high school
time.
teacher talk about like killing chicken. I was like, I don't want to do that.
No. I remember hearing stories about that. She did not have chickens. She had a big garden. Yeah. Her grandparents raised chickens, but it was, kind of sign of the times, right? Post World War II, it was like, oh, we don't have to do that. We can go to the store. How affluent we are to have meat every night, that whole narrative. And like, so nah, she didn't slaughter chickens. She grew up doing that. Heard stories. But
So on the other hand, if we think of Frankensteam as a marriage of music and food, like how does music play into your life? Like where did that source for you?
that's crazy because, I feel like it was also my grandma. Yeah. She made sure we had a piano growing up because she wanted a piano. She always wanted to learn piano. And again, growing up in the Depression, and a piano's like, now they're free. You can have a piano if you have a truck. You can get 20 free pianos.
That's funny.
But they were very expensive. And it was like, again, sort of that post-World War II status symbol stuff. So there's that. It's funny. Yeah. People move it up in spite of what they didn't have. So grandma got me piano lessons when I was in third grade, me and my brother. I had a piano at her house and helped us get a piano at our house. And then my mom said, well, you're going to be in band if you want to be, because I wasn't allowed to be in band because my grandparents knew that people in band just did drugs and had sex. And it's true.
Yeah, and you're like,
it is
that could be
apparently
me.
true. And Bob said, you know what? You can navigate that, but you're going to have this opportunity, because she was a flautist in high school. And the ground is sinking. It was
Like
so rainy
I'm
last
falling
night.
into the ground.
So that was kind of, band was a place that gave me a huge sense of belonging in middle school. I started as an oboist.
Oh, cool.
And I still play the oboe. Again, like I said earlier, oboe scholarship, which I was told in the 6th grade, like, this will get you a scholarship. And my mom said, well, we are working class folks. We're not going to get a lot of, you need to find some stupid human trick to go to college. So I picked up the oboe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to have an affluent, or maybe affluence isn't the word I'm looking for. You seem to enjoy wind-based instruments, things that, well, you mentioned heat, but like the way wind moves and
Absolutely.
obviously with like the sound of food and stuff, that sort of, is that something you've thought about?
I haven't. I am an air sign. I'm an Aquarius.
Oh,
So maybe there's something to that. I haven't made that connection. I do love playing wind instruments, though. It's very self-regulating in a big, deep way. It is just, deep breathing is involved explicitly with it. You focus on how you take oxygen and it comes out as music. I picked up the tenor saxophone, like a year ago.
Yeah.
That's been fun. Yeah, love wind instruments.
shout out to Marnie, my mother. I played the saxophone for, let's say, 3 weeks.
Okay.
And she rented it for like 3 months. She's like, can you keep doing this? And I was like, no.
It's not for everybody.
I wish I'd stuck with it, kind of, because like, to me, the saxophone's like the sexiest instrument. You just like look cool. I don't know if you're actually good at it. I appreciate my mother for allowing me that opportunity to try it, but I did not stick with it. Yeah, but
That makes sense.
yeah,
No, that's a lot of, and I'm glad you tried it. And
Yeah.
that is a lot of people's
It's like-
journey with,
like fifth
it's-
grade or something, you know.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Can I draw a connection that from what you said? Not necessarily wind, but the food music connection is all about oral fixation.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, all right,
It's
Freud.
the same reason I like talking so much, and I've smoked cigarettes here and there. Like, it is how to keep your mouth and hands busy, I think, is the connection. I like wind instruments. You put a reed in your mouth. That's something to do.
Yeah.
Eating, a lot of
You ever
talking.
thought about starting a podcast? You mentioned your enjoyment of podcasts. Maybe you'll find an escape. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
About oral fixations?
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
not about. Well, I mean, do what you want, I suppose.
There's a lot of ways to explore that. And again, I have a 2-year-old, and we're starting to have the conversation around, all right, we need to put down the passy at some point. You just got to find another thing.
Yeah.
Like all humans
Yeah.
do stuff to occupy their mouths.
I will say,
You just got to find another thing.
I was riding the bus yesterday. Dude next to me, straight digging into his nose, going in. So, some people never lose their oral fixation.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, you just got to find a pro-social way to use it. Yeah.
That's so funny. So, you carried your oboe. Well, you said you still play, but
I
you
do.
carried the oboe into college.
Mhm.
How does music manifest? How old are you? So, if you don't mind me asking.
I'm 36 and a third.
Okay. So, how is
I
like
guess
music?
that works to dox me, doesn't it? I
I
just
don't
hit
know.
36.
So let's say, oh my God, it's the same for me too. So like 15 years ago,
Yeah.
being in college, playing the oboe, but Frankensteam is only 3 years old max. What is the interim of music in there that's happening? Is
Oh
there
my
anything-
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so much.
Because you
So
mentioned
much,
being
so
a
much.
composer and all that.
Yeah, no, I am a composer. I've been getting grants to fund my composition career since 2018, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was a little side. I was a juvenile probation officer between current stuff and the working with young folks in the correctional system situation. I tried that for like a year and I could not do any good that I wanted to, but I gave it a try working with the same kids. I was like, I'm teaching you how to cook. Okay, we're closed. Well, now I'm your probation officer. Isn't this cool? It wasn't cool. But I did learn how to write pretty well from writing court reports for a year.
Yeah.
Big upside because I've been pretty successful at getting grants, which is how I got Frank.
Yeah.
Writing grants to fund different works. I made a couple musical cookbooks. I collected recipes from neighbors down in Garfield Park and made an underscore for each one. So if you cook the dish, and we printed these and distributed them, graphic designer Andrea Hayden, who's amazing, helped me, and Lexi Haynes as well, wonderful illustrator who now owns and operates Parkside, was illustrator on that. We made these funky little cookbooks from a grant with the Arts Council, and then we self-funded the second one. I got a grant from Fishers to do that too. We distributed the same parallel situation. I made an oboe method book right before the pandemic. That didn't really do anything because the pandemic, but that was a fun, composition project. I improvise on my oboe all the time.
You busker?
I don't just bust.
I'm
So, yeah, no,
more,
good
more just
question.
for fun.
Yeah, good question. I actively play. I've got a band right now called the Idle Hands.
Yeah.
But I've been playing with my little brother who is who's in town. We grew up playing music together. He's a bass player, a trombone player. I started doing these, I mentioned earlier with Rob, and I do them with all sorts of people, sound suppers, which are a coursed dinner where we intentionally make the food and the music to meld into the same narrative. So it is a fully immersive,
Almost like
all
a wine
senses
pairing,
aligned,
in a way.
sort of, kind of,
Yeah.
except it's originally composed.
Yeah.
So it'd be like if we made the wine. But yeah, so I've been doing those since 2022.
You
All sorts of stuff.
have just a fascinating
Got one coming up on July 21st at Parkside.
Yeah, you just have like a fascinating resume of well, the thing about like the cookbook, especially like sourcing recipes from neighbors,
Yeah.
because you said you used to live in Garfield Park, where in I don't know what you'd call this, like what is this neighborhood
Mapleton
called?
Fall Creek.
Mapleton
We're in
Fall
Mapleton
Creek. I guess
Fall
Fall
Creek
Creek's
now.
like right over the
It is.
over the ledge
It's
here.
great. I should do it up here.
How have you found, to tie it into the podcast, I guess, how have you found community through your activities? Do you think you have?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my work goes back to that sense of hospitality. I mean, food
Definitely.
is crucial to our continuing to exist. Kind of back to what I said my grandma really inculcated me with all my foodways, a lot of them, at least most of them. And she would like feed the plumber when he came. You know what I mean? Like everybody, she'd always have extra. She had 10 kids. She was one of one kid growing up. And so she had 10 and she said, well, I always wanted family. And so everybody is family now. And so feeding people is that way to make sure. And with Frank, if you see me out, you will get a hot dog. We have a take a dog, leave a dog policy. So we will not turn anybody away. You can get a free hot dog if you say, I don't really have $5 today. And if you have $5 extra, you can give that so that the next person can get a hot dog.
Yeah.
But I make community through feeding people, man. Yeah. The music too. You ever been to a silent restaurant?
No. I'm too much of a yapper to go to a silent restaurant, but I want to hear about this.
Well, I was at a silent once. I recall distinctly, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable talking in here because it's not loud enough. I don't want to be the only person talking in this restaurant. So music often sets that tone and helps people be okay with sharing sonic space, not feeling so alone.
Yeah, definitely. I think about like the dynamic between going to a more upscale restaurant and the music they employ, or like a Texas Roadhouse, which is like rather loud and it's meant to make you feel a little more hastened. So what is a silent restaurant like?
People aren't talking often. The music kind of gives people permission. Even just very, very light music helps people stay engaged. A silent restaurant, the very few that I've been to seem like something's just kind of off. And
Wait,
let me.
I just need to interrupt. So silent restaurant doesn't mean it's not a genre of restaurant. It's just a restaurant that is silent.
Let me clarify.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah. So I've been to restaurants where there's not music and nobody else is talking. And it feels awkward.
Yeah.
It feels odd. That is a space that we expect to be a little noisy, which gives us license to also be a little noisy and joyful, right? Music, just like in movies, music tells us what to feel so we can feel it, so we can tell people how we feel, which is how all art is.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why marketing is even a piece of art. We want to know what we're going to like so that we can like it, so that we can share with people that social capital piece. We can share with people about how we liked it. So that's what music does. It helps us tell ourselves and one another how to feel so that we can feel it.
Yeah. Well, I went to bike party on Friday.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
Nope.
Oh, very large. There's between like 800 and 1,000 people on bikes. And they ride throughout the city, and they do a couple of stops. And at the second stop, they have a DJ.
Oh, that's cool.
At least for the summer. And when I think about what you said just now, which is that this idea that music tells you what to feel, and like how a DJ's job is to quote unquote read the room.
Yeah.
And set the tone.
Absolutely.
For moving your body in a certain way.
Yes.
Or the way you shared about restaurants and like if I'm going to keep using Texas Roadhouse, it's the default restaurant, I guess.
It is
like
a fine establishment.
Sorry, my mom has worked for Texas Roadhouse for like 15 years.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
No
shout out
shade,
Texas
man.
Roadhouse.
That's it. It's fine. It is a fine
hashtag
place to go.
Ad. The way that the music in that space fills it and makes you feel, it almost adds a level of privacy from other tables.
Absolutely. Yes.
So that you can, as you say, feel comfortable having an
Get a little
experience.
sonic curtain up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having an experience with your immediate neighbors. Yeah, that's fascinating. Interesting framing. Yeah. So how does that for you play into what you do?
Yeah. I try to create environments where people can be present, which is very difficult in a time and space where there is just so much going on all the time. And in our pocket, we have access to Definitely not all of the knowledge the world's ever created. Some of it is intentionally kept from us. And some of it's just been lost. And more it is gated by ads and who wants us to know what. But much of the world's information accessible, and many people who ever existed accessible within our pockets, it's tough to call forth presentness. And so a lot of what I've been doing with food and music, I called it tuning forks for a little while. But there's too many brands. So yeah, there's too many names. So, but a lot of my food and music integrated work is to try to call forth presentness, because what do we do when we eat? We don't often just sit and be present with the food. We scroll, or we work, or we binge TV. You know what I mean? When's the last time you just ate and really thought about the food and tasted the food and like?
That's a great question. I feel like anytime I go to, man, that's a pressing question.
It's a tough one.
Well, I think so. I've been invited a couple of times to go to Tinker Street on 16th.
Yeah.
And I feel like both times I've gone there, I've been very intentional about not touching my phone.
And
I think it's more of like because of the vibe of the space.
That makes
where
sense.
I'm going to go back to Texas Roadhouse as opposed to Texas Roadhouse.
No, totally.
Which is like so much more casual.
That's right.
I really do not eat at Texas Roadhouse. I just
no shade, man. You know, I've eaten my share of. I don't know how much that is. I haven't been there in a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's fine.
Exactly.
It's great.
Which is again default, but like it's such a more casual space that it's like, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna bring my phone out. Of course I'm gonna like scroll on TikTok and then like show a video to your friend or whatever.
Sure. And I imagine the price point at Tinker is helpful in that and calling you forward, right? There are only so many experiences we can have, and we're sharing resources, trading resources for memories in a sense, with paying more for food, which is good to do in a lot of circumstances, but that makes sense that calls presentness. Yeah. And so that is what we try to do with my integrated food and music work, is give people a reason to not be on their phones, to really stop and mindfully eat, listen to their bodies and how this food is making them feel, what the story is behind this food, what the chef intended behind this food, but also what the people who grew the food intended, and what the lineages and lineages of peoples who curated these recipes and who, you know, biologically crafted these vegetables to be exactly how they are. Like, what are all those stories? So by, you know, again, kind of like in movies, by making music that underscores and gives little theme songs to your pork chop, like it helps people be present. And so in that sense helps people really talk and be grateful and be thankful, and does create that third space wherever. Frank does that, right? You're like, wow, what is this thing?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
When I looked you up, I was like, hell yeah.
We're popping up. We're creating it everywhere.
How often do you take
anywhere people listen?
How often do you take Frank out?
Just once in a while. Just like 3 or 4 times a year.
Really?
Yep. I do a lot. I do too much.
Is it because you're doing too many other things, or because it's just difficult to get Frank out?
Both, and when I like, I don't want to go out and not, I don't want to not sell all my hot dogs when I go out. So some of it is just a very practical.
Yeah.
You know, this is a great part about food work is that it has failure integrated into it, and so you know, just because a food business does not last forever doesn't mean it was a failure. Many restaurants eventually don't exist anymore, and it doesn't mean they weren't successes in their 3 to 7 to 20 whatever years. So this is my 4th food concept, and so I'm getting a little more down to the practicality of it, and because often what helps a food business succeed or not is the economics of it, is the sustainability of the model itself. And yeah, hot dogs are not expensive.
They try not to be unless you go to like a Dodgers game or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And we do. I would love to partner with, if anybody hearing this makes hot dogs in a commercially licensed kitchen.
Yeah. I appreciate the addendum there.
That's right. We don't need, if Joe, whatever, is making hot dogs in his backyard, need not apply. But
That's so good.
yeah, love to get a little bit, but yeah, don't want to price anybody out is a big part of this too. We want to make a space for everybody and anybody to get in, have some fun, weird music, some whimsy, and again, just forget about the fact that the world is burning down, and it always has been
Yeah.
to some degree.
I'm so glad that storm last night didn't. It did go somewhere, but it didn't come here.
It
so.
didn't come here.
Third Space Indy is sponsored by City Rising. City Rising is a social impact studio. Most recently, they implemented an eviction data dashboard that looks to highlight and reduce the impact of the 30,000 evictions, mostly affecting Black and Latino women and children Indianapolis faces every year. Learn more at cityrising.org. City Rising has sponsored a question, which is, what is a... You're laughing. The pivot.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I just, like I said, I haven't gotten to this point. in
Oh,
the
that's right.
podcast yet. I'm
You're
listening to like 9 episodes.
This is so new to me.
We're off the map. I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, City Rising has sponsored a question, which is, what is a third space to you?
Yeah. Well, I have a little context, and I feel the need to acknowledge my sponsor, my day job at Arts for Learning, Indiana.
Shout out Arts
that
for Learning.
funds my rock star lifestyle.
Rockstar in a sense, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah. But we did an initiative called Third Space, actually, back in 2018, where we...
Dude, ahead of the curve.
It's crazy, right? So
Yeah.
I've got, 2018 to 2020. No, and actually we did a couple in 22 and 23. But they were large installation works that pop up into school spaces for a short period of time. So museum, fill up a whole gymnasium with whatever piece of artwork. And I think that's a great example. A third space is a place that you can just be you and escape whatever your normal is, thinking routines that you find yourself in, to get you into new ways of perceiving, new ways of understanding the world around you. Maybe meet some new friends because you're seeing things differently, right? I don't know if you've ever lost your keys that are in your pocket, but the world is not as straightforward as we might think all the time. It is only what we perceive ever, and you're the only person who can perceive your experience, and it only exists because you perceive it. And so that is what third spaces do, is they help us to perceive different, currently valid and currently happening realities that we just did not understand are currently happening because we can only see one thing at a time.
Definitely. I like that.
Thanks.
Great answer. Follow-up question to that question. What is a third space or place that has existed for you previously that no longer does? I'm concerned. The laugh is concerning. You mentioned oral fixation earlier. It could be anything.
Could be anything. Yeah, no, and this does have, of course, always. Oh man, I got two.
Yeah.
One is the sinking ship. Has that come up on your?
No. Oh, is that the one on college?
Not anymore.
Well,
That's right.
Yeah. It was like a breakfast spot.
No.
What is a bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
Someone has mentioned that
It
before.
was like a great punk bar. It was awesome. It was fun. It was a good place to hang out. And I hear people reference, oh, it's where the ship used to be all the time. So like, still, people of a certain age, aging millennials, as I am as well. The sinking ship was an awesome hangout spot. The other one that came, can I have two?
You can say whatever you want, honestly.
The other one that came to mind is House of Chung.
House of Chung?
Which, yes, up at 71st and Keystone was in college. As I went to Butler and studied music composition, which is how I got all these funky ideas. A lot of them got me started, got me supported in the right veins. All the composition professors and students would go up to this Chinese buffet to hang out after recitals.
I like that
sometimes
it's
after lessons.
specifically, like the music students.
The
It's
music
like,
composition students.
Yeah.
Yeah. The composition studio would go and like close down House of Chung, which was a place that it was like a takeout spot, but then Peter Chung was the owner. He would open it up for a buffet for lunches and weekends. He was just so friendly, and it was just a fun hangout spot. Again, it's not there. It's like, I think it's like a Mexican restaurant now. Closed down a couple years ago. It's still a restaurant.
Yeah.
But
Do
that was
you
a
have
fun,
any,
weird one.
Any special memories of either of these places? Like any standouts?
Yeah, after my composition recital, when I was in college, just going up with a bunch of friends and my composition teachers, hanging out, eating all the Chinese food and closing it down. It was
like
fun and
literally
weird.
closing it down?
Like, yeah, we were there till they kicked us out. And then smoking cigarettes in the parking lot.
I've never heard anyone be like, yeah, I closed out the
No,
Chinese
like,
buffet.
That's what I'm saying. It was the spot. That's where they're not here anymore. We ate them out of business.
I wonder, it's such a, like you don't hear about buffets as much post-COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's sort of a little passe
Like,
now.
was that thing that again, it's in the
There's a couple of places around town that do one, but it's not like ubiquitous like it used to be, I think.
no, there's less and less of them. Have you been to the Journey? I'm on China. I do.
The Journey, that's
Big,
like the one near
weird
Sam's
up there.
Club.
That's right.
Yeah.
Chinese buffet up there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go to one,
I don't
it's
think
still
I've
around.
ever have wanted to enter that building in my life.
it's nautical themed. There's narrative. It's so
Yeah.
funny. It's so funny. It's like the journey they took to get to the U.S.
Also,
And they
again,
collected
this
these
is-
recipes.
I probably shouldn't say this, but there's also nothing more Chinese you could do than shut down the Chinese buffet and then go smoke cigarettes in the parking lot. That's like,
It was
Yeah.
okay. We were welcome folks. Yeah, it was yeah.
you like there's like red sun in the sky playing in the background or something. Yeah, it's like sorry, that was a deep cut. If anyone, I don't know if anyone even understands that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from here.
That's okay. That was my third space memory. Those two. I don't know. Yeah, those are good. That's an F.
Yeah.
There's others.
Every episode, I ask a question from the previous guest, but you have heard.
Some of them. I know
Well,
this is a theme,
this is
but
a
I
thing.
don't know. I should have listened to the last one. I could
Well,
have
this
studied.
wouldn't be out.
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
Okay.
Corinne Hendricks, who runs a local queer and ally skate group,
A skate group?
like skateboarding.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Corinne Hendricks asks, person, place, and time, who, where, and when, who would you hang out with, where would you hang out with them, and at what time and place? It was sort of like a really
Is
value
that
health column.
I can interpret that context how I want from those words, or
Yeah, she said any person, any place, and any time.
right. So any time period in history.
Literally.
Any-
I said my answer was 2017 summer camp with my friends. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's like very but if you want to like travel back to Frankfurt, Germany and learn about the origin of the hot dog, you could.
Well, those are. I think they're from New York, actually.
Yeah, probably. I don't,
But
Why do they call them Frankfurters?
Frankfurt-style sausages from immigrants to New York in the 1890s or something. But something like that. But anyway, I'm a history nerd. If I could hang out with anybody, wherever, whenever, what comes to mind first is I would want to hang out with John Cage, who is my favorite composer, who is the only tattoo I have is the score to 4 minutes and 33 seconds, which is a piece of, it's not silence. And I did want to double back earlier. Silence doesn't exist. There is no silence.
oh,
Yeah.
wait, pause.
Yeah.
There's a Japanese concept
Yeah.
that I learned about like within the past few days called ma.
Ma?
MA.
Okay.
It's this concept of intentional silence to make other parts of your life more beautiful.
100%.
So
100%.
the example used in, I think it was a podcast I was listening to. It's funny that you mentioned that.
Uh-huh.
They were talking about the Seven Samurai movie,
Uh-huh.
and they're like fighting and battling over and over and over, and then the movie like effectively stops, and it just shows this period of rainfall and calm before the final act.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying, and this is obviously old Japanese film, like this is an intentional moment in the film to, one, give you a break from the action, but also make the climax of the movie much more impactful, because if you go from battle to battle to battle to battle to big battle, it doesn't mean anything.
No, of course.
So the intentional silence to create impact outside of that. Anyways, I agree with you.
Totally.
Silence doesn't exist.
No. And John Cage was a big person who brought that concept to the U.S. In fact, brought scholars over from Japan to translate many Buddhist texts, and was big into Zen and in the 60s, the macrobiotic diet, and also fed everybody who made music for him. He wrote music, so into that lineage. And wrote this piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds, which is composed at random using the I Ching. So he flipped coins to represent yarrow sticks to determine truths already present in nature to say how long each movement should be. And he did this for a lot of his music by chance operations. And so this is 4 minutes and 33 seconds where the performer does not intentionally make any sounds. It's 3 movements, originally written for piano, but has been transcribed for orchestra and anything. Again, you sit there and don't make any sound, except you close or open the lid of the piano is the only direction, so people know when the movements stop and start. You had a question?
So it's silence. Well, I would.
No,
You've brought up another question in the middle, but we'll go back to the other one. So it's 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence.
Yeah.
Including, like, you're not even making sound by opening and closing the piano.
You try not to.
You try not to.
Just as quiet as you can be. Yeah. Yeah. And so people were real pissed when he did it the first time. We're like,
well, it's like
what is this bullshit? All right, we walked out. And...
Well, it's like the the red painting or whatever. That's just like a shade of red. It's like, it just makes you mad. Right. And then because it makes you mad, it's art. That's the art.
That's right. It's a dialogue between you and the person who made it. There is an aesthetic that is useful outside of its function. It's art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd hang out with John Cage. Well, I guess I'd have to travel back to when he was alive. He died in like 94.
Hey, pretend he's alive at any time.
Well, now.
Okay.
I like now.
Okay. I like now.
I like now. I'm always I don't know. I don't look back on parts of my life with, college is nostalgia. Nah, now is the best. Because now is what we have, and it's now.
Oh.
And there's so much good stuff. And if you don't like now, then fucking change something. But John Cage now at my favorite spot in town.
The Anchor. That's not what you said.
Anchor.
The sinking ship.
No. The ship was cool.
The Anchor's something
else.
No,
but I would want to go to the Watson Road Bird Preserve. Do you know the Watson Road Bird Preserve?
No, you see, this is excellent.
Go and check this out. Is
it on Watson Road?
It's on Watson Road, which is right around the corner. You can.
You think I can walk there?
From here? Yeah, you can.
The way you said that.
It's like, it's not, I guess, right around the corner. It's College. Watson Road's on the other side of College. It's a diagonal street that goes up between 34th and 38th, essentially. And the Watson Road Bird Preserve is at like 36th in Guilford.
Yeah.
So it's, like 4 blocks over and 6 blocks up. And you'd be right on the red line when you stop if you bust here. So totally can. Yeah. It's like probably a half-hour walk. It's not far.
Okay.
There's, even a trail you can take mostly there.
So John Cage
at the Watson Road Bird Preserve
in the year 2026.
This afternoon.
What
Cancel my meetings and just go hang out with John Cage. That's what I want to do.
What do you think he'd talk about?
Oh my gosh. So the Watson Road Bird Preserve is this little spot. It's owned by the Parks Department. It was the first bird preserve in the city in the 1920s, I think. The neighborhood developing around it said, hey, we don't want to develop a house on this big plot. We should save it for birds to come and hang out and make sure that there's enough birds for our environment ecosystem, which we need. And so it's managed and stewarded by Indy Parks, but it's just a big triangle of land on a like a hill that is just for birds. And it, like, the fact that we hear so many birds here is because we're close enough, like within a mile of the Watson Road Bird Preserve. So many fucking birds. It's great. It's great. I love bird sounds. They they help keep the mosquitoes down a little bit. We still need some more bats to eat some more
I've seen
mosquitoes.
bats out.
But no, we got some bats.
All right,
Few more
do you
bats.
like birds?
I like birds. I like natural music and sound that happens, and the fact that this place just exists. So John Cage would hang out. We would sit and listen and just listen. We would probably just mostly be silent.
Would you hold hands?
We might hold hands.
Yeah.
We might hold hands.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
He seemed like a very soft and supportive man, from what I can tell. John Cage was
The question I
awesome.
had earlier was, what is John Cage most known for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, or is he most known for other things?
That is the piece he is most known for.
Okay.
That was the thing that kind of, it's a good intro to his work. And again, it's kind of become infamous for people like, oh, that's not music. He's not a real composer, real
I
artist.
do
And
think it's funny to be like, this is a good intro to his work, and it's just
it's nothing.
silence.
It's nothing. Yeah. He's
like,
very,
man, he's so talented.
I mean, I don't know if you're big into a very divisive character, Yoko Ono,
Okay, I do.
who was also a fantastic composer. I just got done with her biography. She was a student of his. A lot of current music, contemporary composition is like from John Cage. Big into, just like any sort of, and not just, but conceptual art.
Yeah.
John Cage. He did a lot of composing music by random. So if you hear, look him up on YouTube and you'll hear just like what sounds like, and it is just clanging on piano. He prepared piano a lot. So like he would stick whatever random shit into a piano, nails and screws and clamps, to emulate the sound of a gamelan. The Indonesian orchestra, it's timbre.
Mm-hmm.
So there's less pitch and more just like what different clangs and sounds and color come out. So he's known for all
I will
those
look
things.
into this.
John Cage is amazing.
2 last questions.
Please.
First, what's on your heart? Is there anything else you've been thinking about that you want to share?
I definitely did want to mention the Watson Road Bird Preserve, which I did.
We got that
So
in.
silly.
We got that in.
Uncomplicated love for the Watson Road Bird Preserve. What's on my heart? I think everyone just needs to be more kind. You know, it feels like we're in a particularly mean period in history right now, and that is supported by. I mean, again, our government has always been a totalitarian regime. We're not the good guys in history in the U.S. A lot of us are good people, and we can act like it. We can be kinder and gentler and more supportive to one another, even if we are living in a time where we feel like we need to be mean to protect ourselves or to keep ourselves from feeling tricked, or I don't know. But I know a lot of people are afraid right now, and there's a lot to be afraid about. But I think we need to just kind of double down on being humans and being kind and giving people the benefit of the doubt, and taking care of ourselves a little more in a piece of that, so that we can take care of others a little more. I think we need to be kinder and more gracious to everybody,
Definitely.
including ourselves.
Oh, including ourselves.
Including
me
ourselves.
especially.
Right? You big dummy. You need to be kinder to yourself. I'm sorry. That's me talking to myself all the time.
One of my goals for the year, it's a running joke. One of my goals for the year is to be kinder to the people I like the most. Because I feel like the more I like someone, the more comfortable I am just like dissing on them a little bit, you know?
That makes
So it's
sense.
like, how do you like continue to be kind to people? I guess. I appreciate the answer.
It's real vulnerable to admit you like something.
Yeah.
So it's easier to like,
Yeah.
I don't like this that much. You can't hurt me.
Yeah. Last question. What question would you like to ask the next Third Space Indy guest?
Oh man. And I knew this was coming and I don't have one.
You've listened to between 7 and 10 episodes.
Somewhere in there. I haven't heard Aruba. I need to go back and listen to Aruba because she's great.
Can be about anything you want. Every time you laugh, I just see mischief in your eyes.
It's true. It's true. I am I'm very silly about being serious. I'm very it's all work. But but that's a tangent. I got one. What are you in a rush for?
What are you in a rush for?
Yeah, why are you running around? Why are you hurrying?
This is a common... No, I'm serious. This is a common thing I think about, which is like when you talk about artificial intelligence and the way it's manifested currently.
Yeah.
I actually mentioned, like in a short video I did this week, I talked about the concept of like time is money. Like people are obsessed with like always being efficient and rushing to achieve something.
Yeah.
But it's like, why? Like, what are you making
That's right.
your life more efficient for? Like, what is the end goal? And I think most people don't have a good answer.
They don't. We're just kind of in reactionary mode. We're just in perpetual fight or flight.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
So the answer is, I have stopped caring about rushing.
Good
To
job.
my wife's chagrin.
Good job.
But yeah, I don't personally feel rushed, unless I have to be like Clockwork and be somewhere.
I overpack myself.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to experience.
So what are you in a rush for? That is the question for the next guest.
What you hurrying around?
Clockwork Janz, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. For if you want to be found,
Yeah.
where can the people find you, including your upcoming events?
Yeah. So I'm only on social media on Thursdays now, which is
Yeah.
a wonderful little. Yeah, I found myself doing the thing I think a lot of us do, which is like habitually opening up the app to get a little dopamine bump. And I've got some history of addiction in my familial lineage, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna push back. So
Can I
Maybe.
interject real quick?
Please.
Another last question.
yeah.
Have you replaced that with anything? Have you started reading or?
Nothing I can share on the podcast. No.
Okay.
No.
The oral fixation returns.
That's right. Have I replaced it with anything? I'm trying to. Well, no, I've got enough other things. I already had a thing
Okay.
in the queue. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. No,
That's fine.
I mean, I'm reading. Again, that was like a habitual, like, yeah, I wasn't sharing as much. You know, I don't know.
It's almost like a tick more than anything else.
I think it was
Yeah.
more of like, and worrying about what other people, it became like worrying about what other people are thinking and what's, and trying to be hyper vigilant. We can't, I don't know. I've heard people talking about this UFC thing that happened at the White House all week. And I'm so glad I'm not on social media because that distraction, that cruelty is the point at this point. It's to just overload people. And so I'm, to my own question about what am I rushing for, I am working to unlearn. I was one of the last people I knew to get a cell phone, and I don't think it's ultimately the best thing.
Yeah.
So I've replaced it with slowing down a little bit, and I already had enough things going on, and I still have my email on my phone. I have plenty of other things.
You're very responsible on the phone. That's
Thank you.
all right. So where can I
Shoot.
find you? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. It's great talking to you. And so Clockwork makes music on Instagram. Again, I'll check. I'll see it eventually. And I'm not on it. I'm just slower to respond on that. I'm not going to give my phone number.
Some people have actually.
That makes
which is
sense.
Pretty funny.
It's probably findable. My resume's out there, so like I
like,
get
if you wanted to find
scam
my phone
calls.
number, you could.
Right. Everything's findable. Similar Facebook, Clockwork Janz, Clockwork Makes Music at gmail.com. You can find me at most public events that Arts for Learning Indiana puts on. We didn't go down that, but there's a whole bunch more that could be said about that wonderful organization that's been around for 65 years. You can see me at upcoming events. Some day job stuff, some personal practice stuff this Saturday. Nope, it will be never
past.
mind. Last Saturday, nope, never mind. I don't have any. There's 2 events coming up. Personal practice stuff. Tomorrow. If it comes out on Monday the 29th.
Yeah.
June 30th. Tomorrow is one of the few times that I'm bringing Frank out to the public.
Yo.
It'll be over at Eagle Creek Beach. Frankensteam on the beach for my Philip Glass fans. That's what we're
I
calling
will
the
be
event.
there.
Please.
Or
please,
I will
please,
attempt to
please.
be there.
Please attempt to be there. Eagle Creek. My partner Lydia runs the free concert series for the Parks Department, and we're gonna pop up the free El Morambasso concert. My dear friend Isaac Salazar's Nicaraguan marimba ensembles playing on the beach, and I'm gonna sell hot dogs in the parking lot with Frank, opening up for him. Probably play a little intermission, and then after that, you can buy tickets to our next Sound Supper at Parkside.
Yo.
Tickets are $85, but that pays for a 5-course dinner and live music, which is pretty good.
That's a
It's
deal,
not
actually.
bad. By like local chef Hunter Haynes. Like I said, Hunter and Lexi own and operate Parkside, wonderful queer trans owned space that is also just some of the best food in town.
For real.
I was there the other day, and like it's just like if you're looking for, we're talking about the middle ground between Texas Roadhouse and Tinker Street, to pull this back full circle, maybe is exactly Parkside. It is comfortable.
Wait, that is so true.
No, it is maybe the middle. It
That's
is
so
perfect.
funny.
No, it is a perfect spot. It feels like it's fancy. It is a little bit upscale. It's like a special fun
But you
occasion.
can get a patty melt or like a fancy dinner.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
You're
saying.
a genius.
It's perfect. It's right in the middle. That's why we do the Sound Supper there. It's like, it's great. It is medium upscale. Perfect. So fun. That is an amazing if you haven't talked to Lexi yet, can I give a recommendation? Is that a part of this?
You can do whatever you want.
Reach out to Lexi
Say whatever
Haynes.
you want.
That is a great space. That is a great third space. Before that, she operated the Garfield Park Brewery, which is now defunct, but she was the reason that was so successful. That was the neighborhood hangout. That darn near kept me in Garfield Park. Like, just the community was created around that. Lexi is the person. Lexi is the girl.
Amazing.
She's amazing.
Hey, thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of Third Space Indy. You can find me by going to Third Space Indy on Instagram, or by going to thirdspaceindy.com, where I write a weekly blog that I release with the show notes. Even though I'm behind like 15 episodes, it's okay. I'll get there eventually. Thanks so much to City Rising, and thanks so much to Proformus. Proformus is an urban planning and design firm that helps neighbors and communities shape the places they already love. Based in Indianapolis, they're here to help make your place happen one block at a time. And thank you, as always, to the local artist Jennasen for allowing me to use your song, Scared Rabbit, as the intro song. Thank you once again for listening. See you in the next one. Goodbye.
Well, now.
Okay.
I like now.
Okay. I like now.
I
is
like
awesome.
I like now. I'm always I don't know. I don't look back on parts of my life with, oh, college is nostalgia. Nah, now is the best. Because now is what we have, and it's now.
Oh.
And there's so much good stuff. And if you don't like now, then you can change something.
Scared rabbit, is the coast clear? Go grab it, you're gonna starve here. On your bed of death with one regret, what you never said.